If I could only give one piece of advice to every gardener, regardless of experience level, it would be this: mulch everything. Not because it is trendy or because it looks nice, because mulch quietly solves more garden problems than any other single input you can add. Weeds, watering, soil temperature, disease pressure, pest habitat, soil compaction, nutrient loss. Mulch addresses all of them simultaneously with one application that takes less than an hour for most gardens. And yet most gardeners either skip it entirely, apply it wrong, or use the wrong type and wonder why it did not help. I spent my first 2 seasons gardening without consistent mulch. I weeded for an hour every week. I watered almost every day. My soil was hard and cracked by July, and I assumed that was just what gardening required. And then I started mulching properly, and within 1 season, the weeding dropped to 10 minutes a week, the watering dropped to twice a week, and the soil underneath stayed loose and cool through the hottest month of summer. It was the single biggest improvement I have ever made in the garden, and it cost almost nothing. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how mulch works, which types to use for different situations, how deep to apply it, and the common mistakes that make mulch ineffective or even harmful. Stay to the end because the last section covers the one mulch mistake that actually damages your plants, and most gardeners do not realize they are making it. The reason mulch works so well is that it does what bare soil cannot. It creates a stable environment at the surface where most of the biological activity in your garden happens. When soil is left exposed, 3 things happen quickly. First, the sun bakes the surface, and temperatures at the top inch of soil can reach over 120 degrees in midsummer. That kills beneficial microbes, drives earthworms deeper, and stresses the fine root hairs that do most of the nutrient absorption for your plants. Second, water evaporates rapidly from bare soil. In a hot week with no rain, uncovered garden beds can lose moisture 2 to 3 times faster than mulched beds. That is why bare soil gardens need daily watering, while mulched gardens often go 4 to 6 days between waterings in the same conditions. Third, every weed seed in the soil gets direct sunlight, which is the trigger for germination. A single square foot of garden soil can contain hundreds of dormant weed seeds just waiting for light. Mulch blocks that light. 2 to 3 inches of organic material over the surface prevents the vast majority of those seeds from ever sprouting. The weeds that do push through are weak and pull out in seconds because the soil underneath mulch stays loose and moist instead of baking into a hard crust. When I finally understood that weeding is not a maintenance task you manage, it is a symptom of uncovered soil you prevent, my entire approach to garden maintenance changed. Now here is which mulch to use and when, because the type matters more than most people realize. Straw is the best all-purpose mulch for vegetable gardens. It is lightweight, easy to spread, breaks down over 1 season, adding organic matter to the soil, and it does not compact heavily. Apply it 2 to 3 inches deep around all your vegetable plants once they are established and a few inches tall. The one thing to watch for is hay versus straw. Hay contains seed heads that will sprout and create more weeds, which defeats the entire purpose. Always use straw, not hay. Shredded leaves are free, excellent, and available every fall. Run them over with a lawnmower to break them down into smaller pieces, then apply 2 to 3 inches around plants and across pathways. Whole unshredded leaves can mat together and form a water-repellent layer, so shredding them first is important. Wood chips are best for pathways between beds rather than directly around vegetable plants. They last longer than straw or leaves because they break down slowly, which is great for paths but less ideal for annual vegetable beds where you want the mulch to decompose and feed the soil within 1 season. 3 to 4 inches of wood chips on pathways will last an entire season and eliminate path weeding completely. Grass clippings work in a pinch but need to be applied thin, 1 inch maximum, and they should be dry before you spread them. Fresh, wet grass clippings layered too thickly will mat together, become slimy, smell terrible, and actually block water from reaching the soil. Thin and dry is the rule for grass. Compost can also function as mulch when applied as a top dressing at 1 to 2 inches. It suppresses weeds less effectively than straw because it is darker and denser, but it has the advantage of feeding the soil directly while providing some surface coverage. I use compost as mulch in beds where I am about to direct sow seeds because straw or leaves would interfere with germination. Once the seedlings are up and a few inches tall, I add straw around them for the rest of the season. Here is how to apply mulch correctly for maximum benefit. Timing matters. Do not mulch before the soil has warmed in spring. Mulch insulates the soil in both directions. It keeps hot soil cooler in summer, but it also keeps cold soil colder in spring. If you mulch too early, you trap cold temperatures at the root zone and delay plant establishment. Wait until your warm season crops are transplanted and the soil is at or above 60 degrees, then apply mulch around them. For cool season crops planted earlier in spring, you can mulch sooner because those crops actually prefer cooler soil. Depth matters. 2 to 3 inches is the target for vegetable beds. Less than 2 inches and weeds push through easily. More than 4 inches and you risk trapping too much moisture against plant stems, which creates conditions for rot and fungal disease. Pathways can go 3 to 4 inches deep because there are no plant stems to worry about. Coverage matters. Mulch the entire bed surface, not just a small ring around each plant. The goal is zero exposed soil. Every bare patch is a spot where weeds will sprout and moisture will escape. Think of mulch as a blanket over the entire bed, not a garnish around individual plants. Refresh as needed through the season. Straw and shredded leaves break down over the summer. By August, your 2-inch layer from May may have thinned to less than an inch. Add another inch or two to maintain coverage through fall. This is not heavy work. A quick top-up once or twice during the season takes 15 minutes for most gardens. Now here is the mistake I promised at the beginning, the one that most gardeners do not realize they are making. It is piling mulch directly against plant stems. This is called volcano mulching, and it is one of the most common causes of stem rot in home gardens. When organic mulch stays in constant contact with a plant stem, it holds moisture against the bark or outer tissue. That persistent moisture creates a perfect environment for fungal pathogens to attack the stem right at the soil line, which is the most vulnerable part of the plant. Tomatoes, peppers, squash, and most vegetable transplants are all susceptible. The fix is simple. Leave a 1 to 2 inch gap between the mulch and the base of every stem. Think of it as a small donut of bare soil around each plant with mulch covering everything beyond that ring. The mulch still suppresses weeds and holds moisture across the entire bed, but the stem stays dry where it meets the soil. I lost 3 tomato plants in one season to stem rot before I figured out this was the cause. They looked healthy one week and collapsed the next with a soft brown ring at the base of the stem. Once I started leaving that small gap, the problem disappeared completely, and I have not lost a plant to stem rot since. This also applies to trees and shrubs if you mulch around them. Never pile mulch up against the trunk. The same gap rule applies. The difference between mulch that helps your garden and mulch that hurts it often comes down to those 2 inches of space around each stem. Get that right and mulch becomes the single most effective tool in your entire garden. It reduces weeding by 80 to 90%. It cuts watering frequency in half. It stabilizes soil temperature through the extremes of summer. It builds soil biology and organic matter over time. And it does all of this quietly in the background while you focus on harvesting instead of maintaining. If you want to see how mulch fits into a complete garden system that manages pests, builds soil, and produces food continuously, watch the pest-proof garden layout video next. Mulch is one of the 4 structural layers that makes that system work.